I can think of a lot of great words for this weather, but I'm going to take a word from meteorologist Erika Paige. Pleasant.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's really no changes. It's kind of been a nice, quiet weather pattern, and how perfect that it coincides with the weekend. So let's kind of walk you through some of the subtle things that may start to change just a little bit as we go through the next couple of days. Certainly the very pleasant conditions that are out there right now will continue as we head on to this evening. Mainly clear skies in place. Again, temperatures are going to be back to a very similar point that we have been the last several mornings, about lower 50s. And then what you will notice, and again, this is that subtle change through the day tomorrow, is that we have a few more clouds building in, especially as we get into, say, the late morning, early afternoon hours. I don't think it's going to be a completely overcast day, but we have this weaker system that's trying to inch into northeast Ohio, and so it may squeeze out a stray shower, or even at best probably just a sprinkle across a couple spots here in northeast Ohio. And then once it clears out of here, well, things are going to be pretty quiet for us for the next several days. Temperatures right now are sitting into the lower 70s up to the north, mid 70s, and even some upper 70s the farther south from the lake you get. Downtown Cleveland right now currently checking in at 70. We've got that northeast wind about 8 miles per hour. That will eventually calm down as we head into tonight. So for folks that are headed to the Guardians game as they take on the White Sox here in about 4 minutes, it's going to be a pretty nice night at the ballpark. Temperatures about lower 70s now, and then again, you'll notice that temperature dipping back into the 60s. If you're not headed to the baseball game, which I assume if you're watching right now, that's probably not going to be you, take a moment and look up in the night sky tonight just after 8 o'clock. You have a pretty good opportunity of seeing the International Space Station flying over. We'll talk a little bit more about other times that it could be visible tonight coming up in your full forecast.
It's about that time where the sun's going to start setting. Beautiful stretch of, what, a week or so? I've lost track of how beautiful the weather's been, Erika.
Yeah.
And another one tonight, huh?
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of us are probably going to complain when we can't keep track of the number
All right.
of days.
It's a good problem to have.
It is, because usually this time of the year, it's a little bit more active. We're getting more systems coming through. We should be getting a little bit more rain, but unfortunately, that's just not the cards we've been dealt, especially when it comes to the rainfall part of it. But I don't think most people are going to complain about a night like tonight, where you have a lot of that sunshine in the area and crystal clear skies. That will change subtly, as we've mentioned, over the course of, say, the next several hours. We're going to stay mainly clear tonight. I don't expect a ton of clouds moving in right away, but we will start to see those clouds thickening up as we go through the day tomorrow, and that will eventually kind of signal this very weak system trying to edge into northeast Ohio. I really don't think it brings us the best rain chance. We'll call it slight at best as we go through the day tomorrow, and then we dry out very quickly for the second part of the weekend, and that will feature a lot more sunshine and honestly weather very similar to what we're dealing with right now. Next couple of hours, though, temperatures falling out of the 70s back into the 60s. This has been a very kind of repetitive story for us the last couple of days. So certainly if you're trying to find some things to do outside or just to enjoy some of this nice weather, here's one idea. The International Space Station is actually going to have a pretty great pass high above the sky tonight. You'll notice that max height, 71 degrees. That's pretty high up there. So I would look towards the southeast as we get closer to about 8:11 or so. It'll start southwestern sky about 8:08 and then end about 8:14. This is pass number one that will happen tonight. Second one will be a lot lower on the horizon. So if you've got a lot of trees nearby your house, probably won't have the best opportunity of seeing it, but you'll want to look north this time. That's where this one will be passing. And again, that will begin at 9:46 and end right around 9:49. So gives you some ideas. Just because we're not going to have a whole lot of cloud cover out there tonight, temperatures are going to be back into the lower 50s by early tomorrow, and then eventually spending the afternoon, even despite some of the cloud cover, largely mid to upper 70s, if not low to mid 80s across the area. Here's that rain chance I was mentioning. You see the clouds thickening up. Outside of that, not a whole lot of green popping up on that map, and that's really going to be the bigger story for us. I think our moisture in terms of this system is more so going to be in the form of just a lot more of that cloud cover. But again, if we get a couple sprinkles out of it, that would be about the extent of the rain chance. I do think, though, there may be a slightly better opportunity for rain working back in once we get into your Friday. We'll talk a little bit more about that new data coming up on First Alert Focus, so hopefully you can join